2.
So there I was, guilty of preparing to close my file again without saving. So what I'm going to do is control click power save, and we're just going to call this insert demo, maybe not with a capital D, and we'll just save that, and we see that old habits die hard. So we'll just type it here, and we'll just power save it with hops. Just wanted to confirm that that was indeed an issue happening. So from here, what we want to do is basically just apply visual geometry to mesh to just get these modifiers out of here. And the easiest way to go about getting this for reuse in KitOps is to just rotate this over, and we can press Alt X and actually choose to use bisect. And bisect comes in handy for just cutting off the bottom half of something that's not needed. So let's actually undo that, and we'll Control A, all transforms, and let's actually bisect that again. We want to keep the Z and delete everything below, which gives us just this piece here. And so the next thing at this point is we want to basically select this shape and press QOT in order to use Q, operations, and to shape. And we'll just make this into a cylinder, and we'll just rotate the wheel over axis till we get the axis that we want. And this is actually a desirable result. However, in the F9 box, we want to choose parent shape to selection, and we want to choose inverse parent. So now when we move the shape, we actually move the bowl shape along for the ride. And from here, we can actually just lower this down and bring a loop in. And we'll just grab this top face and just scale it out and choose to shade wire, resulting in this as our cutter. So I do see a bit of faceting due to the simplicity of this shape. So just to save ourselves some pain later, I'm going to mark it with sharpen to just auto mark everything that should be marked. And we'll just press Control 1 to just add a degree of subdivision. So now we have our shape and we're good to go. So I'm just going to Control S, save this, and we're going to jump to the file that we've been using for all the inserts we've been making so far. And we'll call this one Circular INS. I'm just thinking of the name in advance just so we don't struggle. And now that we have our insert there, things look a little bit crazy. However, we'll just bring this down and apply the location and change this to be a cutter, giving us this as our result. So from here, we can just choose to save our insert, and we'll save this as Circular INS 1. And now we are ready to begin embellishing for the actual render itself. So, you know me, I like to, first of all, add a bevel on things. I was about to C-sharp it, but that's actually not needed for this. And we'll just look at what our render is giving us, which is something like this. So we'll put a blank material on this, and let's say that we wanted to actually make this bevelable. At this time, due to applying subdivision, there's a little bit of extra geometry on here. I could just tell you in advance. And the easiest way to get rid of it is something called clean mesh, which we can use to just clean things up pretty easily. However, if we want to clean the mesh non-destructively, we can also go under decimate and just add a decimate, which will do a slightly nicer clean job than clean will. So now control clicking bevel, we're just sliding our bevel in ever so slight. And this is our starting point, but we see that this edge causes us a bit of problem in a future area. So let's talk about how we would go about mitigating such an issue. So like in my previous video where I was talking about how I'm a fan of weld, we'll just weld it up one and then just bring it up to the top above the bevel. So usually I'll bring in the weld, I will eat the bevel, and then I know how much the weld is eaten, and then by moving it up one I can place it exactly where I want. So it's just a little workflow I've become acquainted to using over time. And so if we jump back to render, this is what our render is looking like. And keep in mind, we're just embellishing for the render itself. Nothing we're doing at this point is going into the insert in actuality. So we'll remove the environment, we'll press Alt V B, and we'll just roll some blank lights in here until we get one that we like. So many nice random combinations. However, that one is a chicken dinner just waiting to happen. So we'll just select the insert and we'll choose render thumbnail. Notice that I never even bother to put in my name or my author anymore because it deals with that on the save. But at this point we can just close the scene And we're back to our insert looking terrible because we have wireframe on. And also our shape's solid state got restored. We'll just turn that back to a wire and save this file, but we'll Control N, make a new file. And because I did it with the notification up, it's stuck. So we'll just change that to be sharpen. And going under new demo, we'll actually choose circular INS, the one we just created, and we'll insert it. And we see basically what our result is. And we'll scroll this one up and insert one a little bit bigger. Insert another one. We'll turn off auto scale because I like being able to freely scale these inserts. Auto scale is something that has become a bit of a nuisance as releases have gone on. I thought we were actually going to remove it, but no problem. So continuing on, just dropping in more of our radial pieces that we've created. You can now see what it is that we were going for with saving and reusing that insert. So with that, I'll wrap up this video and I'll see you guys next time. And also, I'm just going to have that stuck up on screen, so we might as well turn it into about, there we go. So now we can at least end this video on the credits while I reopen Blender to fix my notification issue.